Hey, welcome to another Cornerbird stream. We'll be picking up from the previous stream. I'll be doing more blended stuff, and hopefully we can get some really cool looking renders from this blender session. I think just gonna pick up from where I left off the other day. Here's some I guess big news came regarding sculpting on the iPad. ZBrush is on the iPad now. If anyone's curious about how ZBrush on the iPad, which generation of my iPad, let me quickly take a look at what iPad generation mine is. So if your iPad Pro is has a model number of A1584 and released in 2015. Trying to look for it. Not sure whether you can see it. I guess the focus is not there, but you wouldn't be able to use ZBrush on iPad for this iPad version. But the good news is that you can use Nomad Sculpt to sculpt on this iPad or any iPad that doesn't support ZBrush on iPad, and that is also what I'm using to make my sculpts. I really like Nomad Sculpt. I think I have an iPad mini from 2021, I think it's the iPad mini 6. That one can run ZBrush on iPad, so if you have it, I think there's a free trial for ZBrush, although you have to create an account, which to me kind of sucks for software. Like, I just want to download the software and just use it, you know. But yeah, so last night I was just looking up, even today actually, I was just looking up on what people are, how people's reception on the ZBrush iPad thing is like. I guess when it comes to the UI, it seems pretty cool that they did like a whole complete revamp, because I remember a few years ago when I picked up ZBrush, it wasn't really user-friendly. Like, I feel like Nomad Sculpt did really a good job in that aspect, where I picked up Nomad Sculpt after not sculpting for a really long time. I also picked up Blender because Blender was free, is free, and I was trying sculpting again with Blender. But I think with Nomad Sculpt, the user interface is just the best. Anyway, with that off the way, I've made some changes in my notes, because off stream, when I was cleaning up the file and trying to prep for this live stream, I looked up on some key binding, and I noticed that there's some stuff that I could do to make my workflow much faster. And like, my workflow is really it's really quite straightforward because I just can't remember a lot of I just can't remember a lot of shortcuts and all that. But that's also why I wrote it down here, the ones that I'll be using a lot. I've already gone through the node wrangler stuff. This I have gone through. This one too. These are just extras that I put in because I keep forgetting what unhide is. Like, is it Control H or Alt H? Outliner. Oh yeah, so something cool that I found, which I guess like I kind of wish that I could do it, but like sometimes when you start a new software or when you're quite like not really new, but you just don't know what exists and what doesn't exist. But I've always wanted to find a quick way to isolate the view, kind of like isolate by collections, I guess. So when I was looking through the file and all that, I hovered over these and I'm like, oh, there are extra stuff that you can do with this. So if you Control Shift click any of this, Control click, sorry. So if you Control click that, it will hide everything else and show this item that you selected. So I think it works the same. No. Let me see if... Yeah, so like it works for the collection. So if I Control click on this, I'll just have this one. If I Control click on this one, it'll just show my high-res models. And I think it works the same way for these, which is also another cool thing, which I was like going through all these and clicking them one by one. But if you shift click on this, it will toggle everything inside. So that's cool. Yeah, shift click. I think the other thing that I found out is that let's see, right click and S. Well, I think I've explained this one on how to select everything inside. But I also found out that if you don't have a numpad, you don't need to click numpad full stop or stop for locating items in the outliner. So let's say if I click on this, I want to find it in the outliner, I can just probably hover over the outliner and press the full stop button, and this will locate. You can easily locate your, like this. Like if I want to find the cape in the outliner, I can click on the full stop. You can see it in the key binding, key map. I think if you search for keybind. So the cool thing is that in the outliner, you have two different buttons for show active, and this is what I found yesterday, which is quite cool. I think the other thing is that I made some custom hotkeys for the things that I use a lot, because I think I come to realize that I've used these things a lot. So some custom hotkeys I made is to orbit around selected objects. In the previous stream, I was clicking tilde key and view selected, and this way you can orbit around the selection. But now I've mapped that to alt tilde key. So if I do this alt tilde key, now I can orbit around this. I can orbit around this. It's like a lot faster to me. I mean, it's kind of like the same as pressing tilde key and the number 3 on the top, but I kind of like to hang my hand around at the bottom. So that's really fast now. I think the other thing is camera stuff. Let me try and bring up the extras. Why is it not showing? Oh. Shift A. Okay. I think the other thing is I use the set active camera a lot. Right now this scene only has 2 cameras, but so it's still quite manageable. But I found that once I reach like 3 and more cameras, that it starts getting a bit cumbersome when I want to look through the cameras or swap cameras for render. So right now this one is set active. Now this is the active camera. So like right click and set active is quite fast in some sense, but now I've mapped it to Control F. So when I render this, it should show this viewport, and then when I click on the snake cam, I think I haven't seen this angle with. Let me wait till the render stops. I think I haven't seen this angle with this material. So yeah, it's a really fast way to just switch between cameras. You can also find that, so if you want to set that for yourself, you can find it under key map and you search for, make sure that you set this to name and then search for active, because it doesn't work that way, camera. Yeah, so it's under 3D view. You see there's a view camera. This allows you to look at align camera to view. This allows you to look at the camera without setting it as the active camera. So even if I'm looking through this camera, it will still render this out because the snake cam is the active camera. But I kind of just use set active camera because I'm just used to that. And yeah, I guess that's about it for things that I found off stream that was quite useful. Kind of like can't believe that I didn't do all this for the previous sculpt when I was doing the blender test for it. But then sometimes you can't, or I can't really absorb a lot of things, a lot of information at the same time. So now that I'm a little bit more used to Blender, it's easier for me to pick up new little things to speed up my workflow. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do my work, and yeah, just going to go through what I'm doing, all that fun stuff. I think one of the first things to do is to assign a material to my high poly model. I'm going to do that right now. I think the easiest way is to just I guess I would just duplicate this. Not sure that I want to duplicate it or to just assign. Maybe I'll just assign the existing one first. So I'm going to do this. Select the material that I want to copy. Select everything else, excluding the plane. And then, okay, I'm gonna test this out. Not sure whether I want to put shade smooth on this. Let me just save like a new file. I think probably this one will need some high res. I will need some high res for the close-ups, but I will. Oh no, I didn't. It kind of sucks when I keep forgetting to do my first render in the first slot. Like I just prefer to do it in the first slot just to keep it clean. But I'll just render it out again. So just remember to make sure that this is active, and that'll be the objects that'll be rendered out. Okay, wrong camera. I think this one. I need to remember what. Control F. I feel so old when I need to remember shortcut keys and all that stuff. I'm like pressing the button so slowly compared to other people, I think. So I'm just gonna render this out in the first slot because I just like to do things organized. That way it's easier for me to save it neater, I guess. It's not necessary though, you can choose to render in any slot that you want. So right now there's also this thing of the, I'm just gonna try and not sure, like should I expand it? Maybe if I move a bit. Yeah, I think just moving this a bit would help. And then Just gonna move this a bit more. Let me see. I think in this section I'm just gonna be mumbling to myself because it's a little hard to focus while talking. So I'm just going to talk to myself. I think this is fine. And the sun is shining through my eyes. Let me close the some things to keep into consideration when moving the backdrop. Is that the curve of like this point, this curve area on the backdrop is where you see the most color or light changes, value changes in the back. It's similar to like this section here. You can see like the curve is flat here and then it transitions to the wall face, and this is where some of the light changes happens. So maybe I'll just render this out and see. Okay, maybe I just rendered this out and let me. So there might be something that you want to consider when it comes to how far you want the wall to be, or how soft or how sharp you want the gradient to be, because it affects this part a lot. This part here, I kind of like how it bounces around here, so I'm just gonna keep it like this. Although maybe it's a little bit too, maybe it's a little bit too much at the bottom. But I guess when I render the snake cam now, Control F. I think something that I do with the key binding tool is to just check if Control F is being used for something. Right now it's being used for filters, and I don't really know what that is. Maybe it's like one of this search box here. Yeah. And F is a very accessible key, like a very accessible key for me. So I like to put Control F for my camera. So it's just like 1 millisecond faster every single time, but that builds up. So that's cool. I'm not really sure. Didn't I render this? Huh. Why is the plane not adjusted? Does it work that way? Is this how you do it? really sure why it didn't update, but right, it should. To clear it is Ctrl-Alt-B. Run the region, clear it. So now that I've these two rendered out, I'm going to just make sure that this is on. If you just disable these on the collection itself, these shouldn't matter. So this is on, but just make sure that if you want to render a collection, just remember to turn the individual ones on too, because if you do like this, then this wouldn't be rendered out. Sculpt original plane. I'll be using the same lights. I'm going to use a new slot and I feel like you probably need to shade smooth them. Let me stop this. I wonder if there's a way to toggle these with a shortcut key. Let me see. Do they have viewport overlay kind of? Let me just Google it up. Viewport overlay. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to write this down. Not really sure where to write it down. I guess here. Alt Shift. Alt Shift Z. Yep, this works. Let me just keep the extras on. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna select all of this. Guess it'd be nice if they can keep this outline selected on, but I can see it here, so it's alright. Just need to shade smooth anyway. Let me just check that shade smooth is fine, especially on this one. I want to see that. I mean, it's like kind of have the usual artifact thing here because the mesh is not really that great, but other than that, it's completely fine. Those kind of things don't really show in the render anyway. Or like, let's say if you're doing something like me, where you're just rendering this out to post on Instagram or I guess ArtStation, all that stuff, you can probably just paint away those tiny little things. Right now I'm just why is that? I guess I spoke too soon. I saw a black dot somewhere. Right now I'm just rendering out the high poly version. Oh my god, what's this? Let me see. I keep forgetting shortcut keys. Oh, I see. Well, it's just a small thing. It doesn't really matter. What was I going to do? Oh, right. So right now I'm just seeing what I need the high poly sculpt for. So I'm guessing for the flames and also compare the times. It doesn't really take that much difference to render them. Like, I probably should just use the high poly. Because one of the issues is that I also decimated too much when I was exporting out from Nomad Sculpt. Yeah, like areas like this, the high poly version is so much better. So I think for the flames, like these bits are not really that different, so I don't think I need to. I mean, like there's a tiny bit of like this nice bounce here. And I guess the snake hit. But the problems that I'm facing with the snake is the integration of this completely different geometry to the hit. It's not really that smooth. It's also because the geometry, or like the how do I say it? Where is the snake skin? I don't really know what this tick button is. Like these are really sharp. Was it always doing this? I guess so. Yeah. I guess one of the things that I will have to consider for printing would be to fix the integration of the head and the body. Yeah. It's like my first time sculpting snakes, or animals for that matter. So I'm just happy that they exist, but they have things to improve on. Wait, shift click on this. Yeah, it should bring everything up. I feel like that's the case. I'm going to use let me run out the other one to hide this, show this, make sure that everything is turned on, and then Shift Z, set this as Control F, use a different slot. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna run down this one. If you're just hopping by the stream, I'm streaming my Blender work. Is it ready? Yes, it's done. So I'm just working as I stream. You're not really sure whether it makes sense, but if you're curious about how I do my work and all that stuff, well, this is me doing my work in real time, so let's figure how to problem solve and all that together. And it kind of feel like I thought I fixed how parallel these two are like, but then they're quite parallel to each other. I think I'll just rotate the camera a bit later. Okay, so maybe I should have kept the high-res version for these because they look a bit wonky right now. I think in terms of the flames, high-res flames are good. Because for it's not that much difference with the cloth. Hair, I should keep it high res. The helmet too. Surprisingly, the snake wings high res has a lot of, like this one, the details in this one is quite a lot more than I thought it would be. I think the spear too. I think the wings definitely needs high res. Although there's like this thing here, kind of reminds me of my VFX job in the past, where these are things that if you're in rotopaint, I was in rotopaint before I moved on to junior compositing. But actually in compositing, depending on which shows you're working on, you will be tasked to paint away these things so that you don't see them on the big screen in the cinema. So let me see. Yeah, like the birds, I think only I kind of feel like the lower resolution for the birds look a bit better because they're less lumpy. But I think for the snake, I think the high res will help for the snake because these are really high res and these, like, surprisingly, these are really soft looking. I guess because the amount of super detailed specular highlights is quite intense on the scale. So I need the high res of the whatever scale sculpt that I did to match it a bit closer, because like I kind of lost quite a lot of that here. Yeah, high res, like for this one, the high res looks really good. So I think it's settled that maybe for the cloth I'm not going to use the high res because I kind of like the softness of this right now. So maybe for the limbs too, and I'm going to, I think, using the lower res for the limbs. Doing this really reminds me of the old days on the office when I'm just like toggling and straining, like staring at all the pixels. Okay. Yeah, like when it comes to her armor, because it's kind of like really, my sculpt for it is quite horrible. So I think when it comes to the armor, like for some reason the low res for her bra top is like a lot more, like there's more clarity to it. Why is the, although maybe it makes more sense that it's like this instead of this. I'm not really sure what's bouncing on this. Okay. Because the thing is also, I'm not really sure whether doing high res or low res is making the render time any significantly, whether there's any significant difference between the two of them. But right now that that is settled, let me see. Now that it's settled, I'm going to make some cool camera shots. So I think this one, a good way that I like to work with when it comes to setting up cameras and all that stuff, is to have two different workspaces. And then Control F. And wait, these are not workspaces. These are just viewports maybe, and then one of the screen will show the camera angle. And since I'm working on this, I'll make it a little bigger. So I'm not really sure whether putting this would... Okay, now it's time to show the... Not really sure whether it's easier to look at this or to look at this, but like sometimes real-time render is just really awesome. It's just really cool to see all these things in real time. But I guess it's smarter to work like this for now. And so right now it looks a bit flat. And kind of, so that's empty space here. I feel like it'll be cooler if this shows the base. I might also want to do one render with... Let me just bring this up. Do one with a more dramatic light. I wonder if the plane has a material it doesn't have. I'm gonna create a new material for the plane and call this plane. Wonder if I make it a bit red, if that would look good. Kind of contemplating whether or not I want to make a scene, a render with similar colors to the gameplay trailer. So in the gameplay trailer, I guess it's good that the camera is quite defocused on this. If you look at at my camera view, but the gameplay trailer, it's quite like there's a little bit of green in it. I think you can see it more in this. It's like a little bit of green, but predominantly orange, yellows, and then the flames are quite red. So I'm not sure whether, like, do I want to follow this quite closely in terms of color. I think right now it looks quite cool like this. Just make sure that it's the right one that's being rendered like this. Maybe a bit too black. I'm not sure. Just trying to gauge the vibe of this. Yeah, I'm not sure about it. I think the color's a bit off too. Like, by right, this should be more red. Maybe like that. I think the other thing that I keep forgetting to do is to fix sharp shadows, which doesn't matter right now at this angle, but once if I do a camera angle like this from here, these shadows will show up, and I need to remember how I did it for the previous one, because I fixed it, I think. Blender this. Actually, I don't recall if I fixed it. Wait, no, I did fix it. So I think if you look at the old render, so like this is an old test render, you can see the shadows are quite sharp. And for like a really long time I didn't notice that because I was just like really focused on getting the materials like right. But you can also see the shadows here are so sharp. I think it was a few days into testing the renders that I realized that the shadows are too sharp. So to fix that, you just have to increase. So this is the fixed version. You have to increase the radius of the lights, and I think this only happens. Yeah, I think the area lights have soft shadows. Let me see. Yeah, because they are like 1 meter radius. They have a radius on. So I'm gonna try and set this to 1. Or maybe like 0.01. The thing I'm not sure about is it seems like when I increase this, or if I bring this down, the thing I'm not sure about is that with the radius on, how do I fix the other one then? But you can see this cut off line here, like this. Let me just see what it looks like. I think the cut off line will be there. Yeah, the cut off line's there. You can see this. I should just open my old file in my previous project and see what it looks like. Because I forgot what settings I put. Yeah, I set it to 0.01. 0.01. I think if I do that, like if you look at this right here, if I just add a little bit to it, it just softens the shadow just a little bit, and 0.01. I think I should put that here too. So I'll do the same for the other one. I can't find anything in this darkness. Where is it? Oh, it's this 0. Wait, that's power. I guess the power was 10, I think. 0.01. Yeah, I think that's good. So it should help with these soft parts. So while we wait for the renders, in the previous Blender stream, I was rendering out all the existing materials that I have that I grabbed from this one. I don't think I'll be using, like, I guess it would be cool to put this material, but this render requires Kravis data, I think. And I don't have Kravis data for the Messmer sculpt, so I'm not doing this one. The thing I like about this is that the details in my sculpt in the previous one sticks out quite a bit. Or like, because there are a lot of details in the previous sculpt, it kind of matches the kind of look that I want. But it's still a work in progress because I'm not really that happy with the overall color and all that stuff. But anyway, I have glass. I have this weird shiny metal thing, which I don't think it's working, or something else is working better than this. Oh, I can't zoom. I'm also not really sure what is going on with this material, where it's just like doing this super isolated lighting, because this is using the same exact lighting as the others, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. You can even see it in this one. There's just something weird going on. Like, even this metal material looks better than that. Like, it's doing a better job. So yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with that. So I'm gonna use this, which was like in the previous sculpt too. I was using it for all these things. And like, part of the reason why I use it for the smaller details is because if you look at this super large area here on his cape, like the noise pattern is kind of off because it feels like it's just a 2D texture slap on top of an image when it's supposed to kind of like follow the curve a little bit more, which is what it's doing. It's just it's not really following the curves well enough. But when it comes to things like these small guys right here, or like maybe his arm or his armor, it looks really good in my opinion. I think when the birds are fine. Yeah, like I don't know whether just rotating the noise pattern a bit will help for this. But I guess as much as it's cool, I've done quite a few of my branders for the previous sculpt with all metal, but they always end up being rejected because something else looks better. I think I can bring up one of the rejected ones. Rejected by me because I'm just doing stuff on my own. I think this one is all, yep. So this is like the all metal one. I think it looks cool. It's just, I think this one, it looks cool. It's just like there are other materials that look so much better, and I don't want to post too many things online anyway. But it's quite cool to see the different. I think this and this is the same. Yeah, I think these two are the same materials, but it just works a lot better on the other sculpt than this one, I think. So this one, definitely using this. Although the problem with this material is that it looks quite basic on these stuff, but maybe that's why I was thinking that so this is the anisotrophy metal material. I like all these ridges and all this stuff, so maybe I'll do like a blend of this and do a blend of this and this thing. That's like on my to-do list. Yep, transfer the anisotrophy metal pattern. Yeah, like I also like this material. I'm not really sure whether I can find it on. I'm not sure whether I can find it on my other. Oh, this is also one of the rejected proof of concept. Like the problem is that there's no readability, but it's just cool to see it like that. But yeah, there's like all these weird, like in some sense slimy look, which I just don't know. Like I tried to adjust like maybe the clear coat or the sheen of the material maybe, but then there's just like some. But like if I remove those, then the reflectiveness that I want is not there. So it's I guess it's like a balancing act when it comes to procedural materials. Yeah, as usual, like I just don't know what to do with marble. I just can't get it right. I think in the past too that maybe like this one. I don't remember if I keep any pictures of this with marble texture. But in the past I guess like when I first started working on this, maybe I guess last year. Wow, it's like so long ago. Yeah, when I first started working on this, oh, you can see here too. This is where the plane kind of like transitions up from like a flat ground to the wall. So depending on how big the curve is and all this stuff, this will be quite prominent or oh my god, oops, or quite soft. Yeah, so like when I was working on this, when I started working on sculpting, I was very inspired by all those Greek marble sculptures. Like they're really pretty, and they have a sort of like natural flair, which I feel like is a bit lost in kind of like what do you call that, the modern sculpting scene. So when I was sculpting this, I kind of have the mental image of rendering it in marble. I think it's the same case for the Messmer sculpt. I kind of want to have the look of the Greek marble sculptures. But I was so disappointed with like I just can't get any of the marble materials like right. So maybe that's a dream for another day in the future. Okay, so the glass. I think the glass is pretty cool. I haven't, but I'll do some adjustments so that the like what I'm assuming is that when not really, this is not turning black. Like I kind of assume that the areas with a lot of intersections will turn black because the light is being trapped in, I guess. But like his arm is going through here, so I'm not really sure why this one is not darkening like the others are. But yeah, it's quite cool. I think I'll change it to have a little bit more color too. But other than that, I think this is good. So I'm gonna work on my to-do list. Although I guess I need a toilet break, so I'll be right back. How do I... Is this visible? Yes, it's pretty hot. Oh my. I'll be right back. Okay, let's do this. Just in case you're wondering, I have this text editor on each of my workspace. So I can probably do the same here. Like this, go to text editor. You can click new to create a new node or click on this. I think it's quite neat to have like a notepad inside Blender. And it's also nice to have a new screen after 10 years of using my old monitor screen. Finally get a new screen that is a little bit, that has more color accuracy and has blacks instead of dark gray for the blacks. It makes doing all these Blender stuff a lot easier too. Because I think before this I was using I was working on Blender and then transferring all my renders to my MacBook to look at the colors. Don't recommend. Although if that's what you have to do, then that's just another step that you have to take. Reduce blacks. Okay, let's go to the shading tab. I think first things first, I'm gonna try and see if I can. All these are the rejected ones. Not really sure whether I want to keep any of this. Like I probably am not going to keep any of this. Like this looks quite cool in HDRI. But when I render it looks like shit. So I think I will... Wait, was it this one? Maybe I should just try it. I don't remember whether it's this. I'm not really sure whether I went too red on this. So I've lost the rim light because of the radius. But in some sense it's a lot better now because this red is more suitable for the whole scene. Although the wings are, the crucible wings are orange. So I think it's better when I can. You know, I'm not really sure whether I want the final renders to have some emissive paths. Okay, let's not sidetrack. I think the frosted glass is not going to work. I think it's not even frosted glass. I think it's just some. I was just like, oh look, it looks cool with this thing. I don't even know what I did here. Okay. Yeah, it's not really working out. I'm just gonna delete this. I know that I was using this for creating crevice tool, but I think it's not. I think it's not. It's not really. Can I undo that? I think it's not really working. I guess there's like this anime cell shading look going on somehow. But yeah, it's gone. I think, let me see if this one, yeah, I don't remember what I was using this for. If I set it to its default, even look at this. Yeah, I don't. I'm not really sure whether having all these extra stuff also impacts the renders. So let me just see if not really sure whether I want this one. But then it's creating this weird thing again. Yeah, it's not working out. I think I can just delete this. Like, I'm not using this at all. I think this one wasn't working out at all, and I don't think there's anything that I want to keep from it either. Yeah, I'm just gonna delete this too. Gonna delete this too. Okay, now I'm on this material. I really like what's going on in this. Oh, before I forget, let me just. Okay, now that's better. I think when you look at from this angle, you can see what's going on, because the noise texture is no, not this one. I think it's this one. The noise texture is going on I don't know what normalize is. I was just following the tutorial, but the noise texture is following this scale here. So if you put the camera like here, it'll look really weird, but then that's because it's just meant for this view right here. I think before we keep going, I just remembered that I need to do something. I feel like I should just keep my old Blender file open because I keep forgetting things. Print sculpt. Let me see if Okay, so it wasn't the sculpt. I was parenting the cameras and lights to an, I think, to an empty. Yeah. I think before I do that, I'm going to I'm trying to think whether or not I want to put the different cameras and lights together. Let me see. I guess it looks cool in some areas, but not everything. Okay, where is it? This one. Yeah, I think I can keep the same lighting for this angle. I think. I'm not sure whether I should make a unique one. But because I just remembered that I want to parent. I'm just trying to think how do I go about doing this. Because okay, I guess I'm going to put the snake cam here, and then this will be default cam. You can press M and create a new collection in the group that you want. If you click here, then it will just create a new collection in the main tree. So I'm going to create a new collection here, main cam. So this is the main cam. Oh, this is the main cam. Trying to choose. Okay, this is the main cam. This is an empty. The empty is for the main cam. So I guess I'll just move this, because this empty is for that. I think I just opened the live chat, so just want to say hi too. I'm just gonna keep live chat on open just in case someone has a question to ask. But my god, I'm so bad with names. Mew Gray. Grave. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. But hi again. And to Mackenzie's live, thank you so much. It's looking really awesome. Okay. And these are like the things that I get really confused with. Like, do I want to group everything together and just parent them to one axis? I feel like that makes more sense. And I think I'm going to group these because I kind of want to keep them. So I'm gonna group this as like the main lights and also snake. let me just in case that person has gone. Okay. So I think this is all based on the experience of the previous project, where because I ended up having different lights for different camera angles, it got really messy and all that stuff. So right now I'm just doing a preemptive, like I know that I need to group these together, so that's just how it is. So now that's the snake cam, which is this one. That's the main cam, which is this. And I think both of them will use the same lights, so I put it as like main lights and snakes. It's just the way that I label stuff. And right now what I want to do before I continue is to create an empty plain axis. And I'm just gonna, how big is this? I'm just gonna like make it super big, just so that I can differentiate it between all my other empties. And this empty will be my rotation. I don't really remember how did I go about doing this. Trying to remember what I did. Well, let's just do one first. I think I parent. Is there a constraint so that I can do it more? I'm wondering whether following copy rotation might work. Let me just, maybe I'm just gonna try this out. Can I add an object constraint to a group? Guess I can. And then I'm gonna drop this one. I'm just going to keep it like this first. So now if I rotate along, now if I rotate so it's the Z axis. Oh wait, it's not even. I see, maybe it doesn't work on the collection, so I guess I'll just delete this. Let me see how to I think I probably just need to Alright, let me check if my x-axis in the previous file. And create an empty. Okay, let me try and is it like this and this? If you feel like you're really stuck at some stupid little small thing, you're not alone, because I get really stuck at the most simple stuff. I don't remember how I did this. Why didn't I write it down? Oh my god, I should have this written. Okay, let me try. I just make sure that there's nothing weird. I'm gonna put this here. Can I like group this? How am I supposed to do? Control P. You know what? Maybe the problem is that I think that the thing that I wonder about is, okay, so now what I want to work, maybe it's easier if I look through here. So the thing that, oh, what's wrong with the shading? Oh, right. Then let me just bring it here. I think that the thing that I'm wondering about is like why I can't, like I would think that in Maya or other softwares that I can parent groups to the axis, but I'm not really sure why I can't do that with Blender collections. Like to me it makes more sense if I can create a whole bunch of collections with like the camera, different cameras, different lights, and I just parent the constraints. Parent this one collection to the empty, but it's not. But you know, it's fine. I think. Let me parent this. Oops. I guess I should keep transform. So I think that should, yeah. I think the other thing that to, let me just put the plane. Should I put the plane in the group? I think I'll just do that. So I'm gonna put the plane in this collection, and I'm gonna do the same thing. So these are working fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the reason why I'm doing this is so that I have a universal rotation. So this is useful if you want to render out a turntable. So the camera will always be, wait, why is it doing this? Why is it not working out? This one is fine. Is this? Guess I messed something up. Let me set this back to 0 first. Yeah, something. Yeah, so like there's a element of, because I'm streaming, so sometimes I can't really figure out what's going on. So I think it was kind of around here, something like that. Yeah, something's a bit off. Wonder whether I can just reset this. Yeah, I'm just gonna reset this. Ta-da. You know what? I think it's fine. You need to adjust the. Just need to adjust. Can I unparent this? Like unlink? But if I unlink, what happens to it? Maybe I just delete this. Oh, it's back to normal. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this again from scratch and do it properly. So empty in the group, and then select. I'm gonna hide the sculpt because I just want to select everything, and then Control select the empty, Control P object, keep transform, and now when I rotate, yep, now everything is in line. So like the issue that I was doing was that I parent like maybe the first object and then I rotated the axis a bit and then I parented the second object afterwards, and then that kind of messes everything up. So now it should work properly. So this is a good way to render out a turntable. Something like that. I'm not really sure whether it can do a real-time thing. Can I just maybe open it up here? Oh, but it'll be blocked by the camera. Maybe I should just... I guess I'll just do it here. So if you go to the timeline, you go back to frame 1. I'm gonna set this to 0. I think you insert keyframe, and then you go to, let's see which frame, 600. Just going to squeeze this a bit, and then 600, 360, and then just remember to insert a keyframe. So now if I play this, I just realized that I made a mistake. The plane shouldn't be... I guess the plane shouldn't be attached to it. You can just like ignore what I said about the turntable. If you want to create a turntable like thing. Oh wait, no, it does matter because what am I doing? I'm not looking through the camera. Let me look through this camera. Yeah, so if you look through the camera, can I just go right? I feel like maybe 600 is too slow right now. Maybe I just do like maybe 60 frames. Okay. 360. So like this would be a good way to render out the turntable while preserving the locations of the camera, the lights, and the backdrop. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, you know what, I'm doing all the irrelevant stuff. Let me just go back to this. You want to keep the... Yeah, I want to keep this. Let me just look at what I was doing. These are all like just following tutorials. So I think I'm just gonna bring this down because I know that my pole renders are, all my pole shaders are here. And it seems like no, I didn't, I guess. So that's the initial metal. I think this is the other material that I'm not using. So let me delete this. So I'm gonna put this aside. And I think just to make it neat, let me just align this. Pull with ridges. You know, maybe I did do it. You know what? Yeah, I think I think I made it already. Let me just compare the two. Yeah, you know what? I made it. I don't think I need this. What's the difference between this and this? Guess I can delete this because this was the older one. Just check how glossy it looks. This one's the glass. So I think I'll swap this too, just to make it neat. And if you're wondering why I have all these shaders in one material, as in just one of this, it's because it's a lot faster to swap between them if I do this rather than right clicking and assigning. I mean, like, let's say if I do this, and if I do this for all the materials, it's just going to be, it can get quite laggy. Like, this is a lot faster. I think yeah, gloss is really quite similar to the pole material, just minus the specular. So I'm gonna delete this because I don't need this one. I think so. Like, now what I'm wondering is like why the ridges are a bit different. I'm not sure whether I like. Let me. Yeah, like I kind of like this. Although maybe the other one looks nice too. Where is it? I don't know what did I do this for. I guess it's just to give it a little bit of a bump map for this. Although I guess it's not really that visible. Let me just render this out too. Although before that, I want to change. I lost quite a lot of the 20. I lost quite a bit of the rim light, so I'm just gonna, I think this was one before. Yeah, so now I'm going to render this out. I guess I'm doing this. This one is done. Ambient occlusion is under compositing, so do I want to put ambient occlusion? I think that's the thing that I wonder about with how people use Blender nowadays. Like when I was using Maya many years ago, ambient occlusion is kind of like a really necessary thing. But now I'm thinking, so I'm really used to using ambient occlusion. But I wonder whether it's really necessary. Yeah, I think I prefer the other one. I wonder whether because it's quite big. I think if I bring this up. Yeah, like I like this a lot more. It's probably something to do with the size, because I kind of like ditched this material, so I stopped adjusting it. But I think I want this, so I think this one should be the same. It's just the bump map that, so if I kind of like us. So if I like do this, oops. Oh my god, how did I pronounce your name? Well, to the new, I'm just looking at the YouTube chat right now, because I guess it's dinner soon. Etine. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm so sorry. You're saying, well, thank you for your kind comment. And yeah, thank you so much. Although, like, I would like to say that, yes, I guess I can attribute this to, like, talent, but I feel like it, in some sense, it's more of like persevering and sticking with learning all the tutorials and all that throughout the years that really helped me a lot. But how many years experience do you have in sculpting and Blender? For sculpting, it's really on and off. So I would say that because I went to art school, I have around 4 years of like modeling, 3D modeling experience, although that was with Maya back then. And that was like really helpful because you just going through like an intro class of learning how to 3D model very simple objects. Although I remember that I did a 3D modeling of the One Piece sunny boat, which maybe I'll just I'm gonna type all this out. But so like I was working, wait, these are all the new ones. Where's the simple one? Okay, just like the very first boat, like it's not like this. Also, like I learned how to do 3D modeling, which is like more hard surface, doing some characters, maybe some like semi-realistic human characters for some group project stuff, some cute cats. And then learn how to do learning how to do 3D modeling to can I just like what's it? Where's the annotation? Can I do an annotation? So when you learn like the really fundamental, how do I even, why can't I just draw over this? Or is it because I'm not in layout mode? You know what? I'm so sorry I don't know how to use annotation. But so like I can confidently say I've kind of 4+ years of experience learning how to use 3D software to do modeling, texturing, rigging, lighting and rendering, and animation, most of which I've already forgotten how to do. Then a few years later, I went into like VFX, so I didn't really do much 3D modeling or anything. I just used my 3D skills to kind of like, let's say if my shot requires me to kind of like maybe do like plate reconstruction, then I'll need to do really simple reconstruction like this and then paste the image on this. Just like I don't really know how to say like everything in detail with as little words as possible. But yeah, like so those years of experience have kind of got me prepared in learning how to read, how to like think of things in 3D space, which I feel like it's one of the most important things. Because like if you're just drawing all the time, which I like to do, you don't get this kind of experience in some sense. Like I know that there are a lot of talented 2D artists who draw and think of things based on 3D space, and they can draw like really crazy fish eye perspective and all this stuff. But sometimes like to do an actual sculpt, it feels a bit different, I guess. When it comes to Blender, I don't think I've used it that much, but like I will just pick things up here and there. So sorry that is such a roundabout answer to this. I should probably think of like how to answer it a lot better in the future. But yeah, it's like really on and off, picking up a lot of tutorials along the way. Something that I've noticed too is that it's really so much better to, like in some sense it's really important to watch all the tutorials out there to know like what exists and what doesn't, because that helps a lot when you start your own project. You're not completely lost. But like it can be really overwhelming. Like you can have information overload, and to count, like for me, and like that's like one of the things that I get depressed over, because I have like really high anxiety all the time. But so like a way that I counter that is to just start a project that I'm really interested in, like this project, and then when I encounter a roadblock, I'll go online and search for it. So like all these material things are just like just going through multiple Blender tutorials online on how to make a pearl shader, or like how to make a brush anisotrophic. Oh my god, this is wrong. Anisotrophic. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong, but material, and yeah, it's just like how to do glass with RGB edge aberration. So yeah, like it's just really on and off, picking things up here and there. I want to make tutorials in the future on how I make these kind of stuff. It's just I'm still spending so much time working on all these that it just doesn't make sense right now. But yeah, it would be nice to be able to get the courage to make like specific tutorials, or like more constructive tutorials for my projects in the future, maybe next year. Okay, so I sidetracked a bit. But yeah, a lot of things is just like, even if you feel like you suck, you just have to persevere, or like just like stop for, I mean, if this is going to be your hobby, then just stop for a few weeks and like come back, and you're going to find that a lot of the information that you found so overwhelming like a few weeks ago is going to be a lot easier to kind of like absorb or comprehend, because like you have gone through it once, and then your brain kind of like is smart enough to like kind of like absorb information over time. And what am I doing? Okay, let me just render this out. I think I just need to change the bump map, and I think that should be good enough. Oh, actually, I just remembered that that there was a reason why I didn't put the ridge on the pole, because like I think it's a bit too strong, maybe. Like what? Why is this doing this? Okay, let me just change it a bit. Then maybe I can just leave it there for now. I'm not really sure whether I can just do a multiply. Can I do a multiply node? Which one is multiply? Multiply, is it? Actually, no, I will just do like this. Wait, why is it? Can you just connect? And I'll just do like this. Just create a separate one so that I can set the strength here. And like, don't mind the sound happening in the background. My door is faulty. It's quite hard to close the door. Yeah, I think this looks better. Yeah, I think I like this more than, let me see. You're not really sure. Maybe like there's some nice qualities about this, I guess. I guess it's also hard to compare when lighting's different. Let me just attach this back. I think it reminds me too that there's only so much that you can learn in 4 years of school, of art school, that a lot of the things that I learned like I guess in some sense a lot of the information that I've retained is just like trying to keep up to date to like I guess what is new in Blender and all that stuff on my own. Like all those little things help so that you don't get like really shocked when you come back to it a few years later. Did I render this really? It's because I started to black. Not really sure why I like it in this one. Is it because it's metallic? Yeah, so you can see like I'm just doing stuff and just seeing what works and what doesn't. And I'm trying to think of like why this one is working for me, or like why I like this. Cause like I like these things, but then when I brought it here, I'm like, oh, like it doesn't look as nice as I thought it would. So maybe one thing that I can do, I'm just going to I guess I should probably look up on what is the shortcut key for connecting things. So one thing that I can do, I should like make more space for myself. And let me remove these. So one thing that I can do is to duplicate this, and then change this color to something closer to white, or maybe I'll just eye drop. Can I just eye drop this? I'm just gonna wait, I eye dropped the wrong thing. It should be this one. Let me just, is this the color? Or maybe I just like connect this up. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I guess while I wait for render, I just type in my answer. Okay, let me see like why. I'm just going to duplicate this. You can see like how fast it gets messy. It gets messy really fast when I'm trying things out. Like the reason why this is relatively readable because I've really done all the testing. But once I start testing different stuff out, it just can't be bothered to keep neat. I think I will. I think I'll just use. Wait, what am I doing? I should just set this to 0.2. I feel like based on. I'm just gonna look real quick if I want to. Oh my god. How do I how do I look at how do I see my render in compositor? I'm new to Blender. How do you click render and click render image. Where's why do I not see? Why do I not see the render? Use nodes. I am using. Oh, right. Is it? Why is it not showing? What are you doing? And why is it not rendering? I think I'm as clueless on Blender as like many of you guys. So yeah, I think if I render this and when it's done it should show up on the compositing tab. So I'm just gonna wait a while. Hi Oskin, welcome back. Thanks for coming in. Yep, it's looking really good right now. Okay. Oh yeah, so now it's showing up. So okay, just remember to click on add use nodes. I'm just gonna bring up text editor, convert nodes, remove this because I don't need this. I don't even know why that thing is there. Maybe some animation thing. Alright, I guess like if you have an animation, like a 60 frame animation, you want to look at the timeline. But I don't, so why am I looking at? Oh, ambient occlusion. Let me see how I set up my previous file. Ambient occlusion, color ramp, multiply. I feel like I'm not going to use this, but just for old time's sake, I'm going to. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna do it because I don't even have the ambient occlusion layer right here. I don't remember how to. Is it V? Yep. V for... How do I go back in? Alt B? Yeah, Alt B. Alt B and V. Where do I put it? Compositing stuff. Compositing stuff. Compositing stuff. I think all these will be useful when I make tutorials in the future, but not now. Component 1. Use nodes. 2. And the AO channel if I need it. But yeah, I really wonder whether people are still using ambient occlusion passes for their works, because like to me Blender looks pretty good without it. And of course, like I wasn't doing really detailed works like these many years ago, so I wouldn't know like what the comparison would be like. Like maybe ambient occlusion might be really useful for the intersections, but yeah, I think, you know, I think I would just try do some Blender like ambient occlusion. So under the render, can I see what this is? Oh, never mind. Like under this tab, you can get ambient occlusion. But the thing is that it's so low in the list that I'm thinking, like, is it because people are not really using it that much anymore? Like, I'm kind of like in my own bubble right now. But yeah, you know what? I'm just going to try. I'm going to render this again with that enabled. So what was the other thing? So I'm going to... Why are you doing this? I just want to change view render this one. Render an image and then V is to zoom out. I'm not really sure whether Blender 4.2 has a different wait, Alt B, yeah, Alt B, sorry, Alt B and then V to zoom out. It's kind of weird to put it this way, so I'm gonna put it this way. OCPD, okay. Okay, so I think now there's an AO channel like this. Feels a bit messy, but I guess I'm supposed to put this in and then I do this and then what node is that? Math? Oh, oops, sorry. I guess it's makes. Yeah, I think it's... I'm just going to... So this way and this way. And then I'm supposed to multiply so we can see maybe if I, so this is before and 0. This is before, this is after, and then I just want the shadows, so I'll put this as like 0.5. So this versus this. Yeah, I feel like, I guess it does still work. Like when you look, oops. I really don't like the compositing workflow. But so once you start doing compositing, when you go back to all the slots, you can, no, you can't, not this one. I guess it's just, where is it? Wait a minute, why did I render in slot 7? No, man. So when you have the render slots with the ambient occlusion or whatever you're using in compositing, there will be a new option under this to view composite. I'm not really sure what the hotkey is for this. I guess I should look for it. It's always important to write down what you want to figure out later on, because you're gonna forget. I guess it's also like, it's really important to have note taking, to have some form of note taking that works really well for you, because like you can download other people's like hotkey cheat sheet and all that stuff, but sometimes like when you make it yourself over time, I feel like I can remember things better. And also a lot of the cheat sheets will have like a gazillion things that I don't need, so it's just, I just use what's important for my stuff. Yeah, so I think it's not bad. Like if I toggle this and then this. Now of course you have to remember that when you make a render, you should remember to save the images based on what you want. Like for me, I personally would save both of this. So I'll save this image and then I'll save this image too, and then like label it as image 10 with ambient occlusion. That way you can save all your, you can look back at all your archives and see whether or not you want if you want the ambient occlusion in and all this stuff. I think normally I'll also put in, like, let's say my file name is like the date, and then Messmer test render version 01. Or I guess I'll say maybe this is like image 15. Then I'll have, oh my god, sometimes I forget that I'm not using a Mac, and then I use the command key. Then I'll do like 800, I'll do something like that, .png. So this way I know that these two images are exactly the same, but this one will have an AO with the setting written on it, so that I remember like what exactly I put. Let me see. Yeah, so I think this is surprisingly working really well. Like maybe I could, maybe I'm not I guess the question would be if right now this one, why do you have a color? Oh, right. But I should copy and paste this to hex colors. Let me paste this backdrop. Okay. Then now I can just set this to default. I think it was white. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now I think now I understand why I understand why I like the other one better than this. This is okay, so this is the pearl material. I'm just making sure that it is the pearl material. And do I want to save this one? Maybe not. I think I should also stop like hoarding render images just because everything looks good. Why is it white? I mean, why is it red? I guess because of the red color render. Yeah, so this is the metallic. This is the metallic one. Yeah, I guess like the metallic one works better with the ridges because the pearl material doesn't have these metallic specular reflections. So when I look at this, I can see all the bump map, the noise pattern everywhere, which I feel like it wasn't really working. Whereas like with the metallic sheen, it kind of feels like it breaks up some of that look, I think. I don't even know what I'm saying. But yeah, like it kind of looks like it breaks. Like I guess especially this. I kind of prefer it to be a bit, although like I'm not really sure why this one is doing this. Is it the denoise? Maybe this is the denoise doing something to it. Like, does this look like this? Yeah. Yeah, I guess like when it comes to ridges, I don't remember now like why is it so red now. Yeah, like the pole with ridges. Yeah, the problem is like areas like this. There are too much going on. So maybe what I want to do is to let me see, where is it? Not working out. Maybe add a mix. Make that noise. I don't even know how to phrase it, but the idea is that in the future, I'm going to create some noise pattern to lower the intensity of some areas and keep the intensity of other areas, but randomly, so that it's not too uniform. But again, it's like, I don't know whether it's worth pursuing this material. Like, I guess I like it like this, but then the problem is that the areas that are closer to the camera, I think, or the areas which has more direct light on them, they're too much. Yeah, so in the next one I'm going to do that. Yeah, so I have to go now, but as usual, I'm sorry that it's taking so long. Just getting used to streaming with Blender. Like, I really haven't used Blender in too long, and I've forgotten everything. But yeah, I think the next one I'm gonna put like I need to put like some like do this. Or you know what? I'm going to put 1 because I feel like the numbers are more eye-catching, and then I'll remember how to. Oh, I did this already. So this I've done, so that's good. But I will need to set up better lights. Also need to figure out why the, like, it can't be just this, right? Although why is it? I don't understand why it's so red. Because these are not making it red. Like, what did I do to make it red? I don't recall doing anything to make it red. Like, it can't be. Oh my god, it's like I'm so stupid. Oh yeah. Sometimes I do really stupid stuff. I need to bring the saturation down. Okay, let me re-render this. So the reason why it's red is because I forgot to remove the saturation. So I only brought the brightness up to make the backdrop bright, but then I forgot to remove the saturation that is keeping the backdrop red in color. So now it should match my older. Yep, it should match my older one. Feel like probably don't. Let me just look at my renders. Like, I'm just looking at these. I guess besides this one, yeah, I'm just gonna quickly do this before I go. Where's the, oh, this one. So duplicate this. I'm going to adjust this. I think this is the only one that I need to adjust. This is the wave texture, this is the noise. I think this one, this one's just adding more bump, but this is the one where the color is coming in. So let's go like extreme and see if that what was the scale before? Detail scale is oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. So before was 2. I feel like this is not the one. It's not the one either. If I put this up to 30, no, this is not the one. If I put this up to 5, I'm not really sure whether this is what I want, but maybe I'll try. So if I control G, oh my god, what did I do? Why did it do that? If I'm gonna label this as adjust detail scale. I think something weird is that, which I'm not really sure whether it's fixed in Blender 4.2, is that the label is not shown in real time. So sometimes I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but then can I just move this? Sometimes I feel like doing something wrong, but then it's just because I haven't pressed enter. But yes, it's quite weird, especially nowadays when you can't expect everything to be real time. So I think thanks to that, just making sure that I'm on frame 1. Before I hide this. It kind of feels like it fixes. It kind of feels like it fixes like some of the issues with it, but it's not fixing the main issue, which is the thing of like it conforming to the larger objects. So yeah, I'm not really sure that I want to do that. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna stop for now. I hope that I can progress it faster. So the next thing that I want to do, because now I'm quite settled with the materials that I want to use. Like this one is settled. Oh, I haven't really looked at glass. Oh my god, I forgot about the glass. Adjust noise. So this one is done because there's nothing much to adjust. I need to Let's just like clean this up. Just this. I think I don't need this anymore because I've already transferred. Maybe I put like 5 here. Though, like looking at the renders, maybe I'll just do like the thing of just mixing. Let me see if I go under shading. I hope that dinner is not getting too cold. So if I do mix shader, this one is different from mix because I just think of it as like, this is green, it only works with the green stuff. I think this is, yeah, this is the one. What was this for? What's the difference? Sometimes I don't even remember what I did, like ages ago. Oh wait, this one's for the, let me just label this before I forget. And I'm gonna mix. I'm gonna mix this up. I really need to like find the shortcuts for this. Like, this is so tedious. Okay, mix. So what this does is to put like a blend of both. It's kind of like if you open like Photoshop or Procreate and then you put an image underneath and then the image on top, the opacity is set to 50%. It's something like that. So I think like this. So 50% of that is going in there. Although maybe I really shouldn't be doing this because it's a bit laggy. But the next time I'm gonna see if this looks good. And inclusion. This one is done too. So this one, yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I should put this here so that 5 is below. And then yeah, I'm not really sure what I want to do with this. Yep, I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure what type of material I want to put on them that doesn't look cheesy. I think that's the thing. Like, I don't want it to look cheesy. I feel like if I put this material with a color, like the red color, it's gonna look really cheesy. Like cheesy in like the unflattering sense. So yeah, I guess I'll think about like what, or maybe I'll look around and see how other people render their images. Like, maybe I'll just do some very simple default principle of BDSF and render that with colors and see how that is. I guess I should look for let's get how people render. I guess default material looks, maybe. I guess that's always good. Yeah, so that's quite a lot of chat stuff. And oh, thanks, Oscar. I try to watch it whenever I get time from, but thank you so much. I don't really know what I want to do with all my live streams, but it's just that like I see a lot of people putting tutorials out there to put themselves out there, but like I always don't know how to find that. I mean, like giving myself excuses, I guess. But like right now I just don't know when I can, like how to balance putting the time to make tutorials and then putting in time to do my work. So I guess like live streaming is just like a good way to just like put in the hours and get used to things before doing like actual YouTube video stuff. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty great. And like I was just reading the comments from ET. Oh my god, I'm like the worst at reading names. Etienne? What? Oh. Yeah, like I have high anxiety too, so you are not alone. Like, I mean, like as bad as it sounds, like I like the way that you say that they are collectibles. that's kind of like how I feel with it. Like, yeah, like that's like it feels quite heartening to know that someone out there is also feeling the same way, I guess. And that's why these are here with me too, because they help ease my anxiety. Like cute and soft stuff makes me feel a lot better, especially when I'm just like doing work by myself. Like sometimes I just have to remember that like all is well in life. And I'm glad that you learned a lot from this, although I feel like it's really not structured that well right now. I'm just doing things based on what I'm thinking of. I really hope that in the future I can make a more structured video for this kind of things. I mean, even in regards to like how to do work when you're facing a lot of anxiety or depression. I feel like I guess there's quite a lot of things that I learned in the past few years on how to deal with that kind of things. And you know, like here I am now doing work that I like. So like yeah, it is a long process. And yeah, I'm glad that, just the reminder of taking a step back and return to it is like what you need to hear. I think how I learned about doing that is actually quite unrelated. I was doing the very simple beginners like N5 and N4 Japanese. Let me see. I haven't do them actually today. I do them every day. But like I have this Japanese Enki cards. I've been doing them for like close to a year now, I guess. Or maybe it's been over a year of just doing them every day. Also, like one of the things that people should know is that language is really not my best. It's like really my worst subject. But that's also why I decided to just, like if I just learn a little bit every single day, I would at least be better than of like where I was at least 1 year ago. But like the main point of like what I learned with Anki is that I'll be quite surprised, and it'll be quite surprising when I used to find this word really hard and I don't even know how to say it. But like over time, there'll be a day when if you keep like exposing yourself to it over and over again, just like bit by bit every day, there'll be a day when suddenly like it clicks in your brain, and then today I don't find this word that much harder anymore. And it doesn't happen overnight. But like the cool thing is that like your brain learns how to, like your brain is has the ability to learn many different things as long as you don't overwhelm yourself with so much information. You kind of like put all this information in small chunks that your brain can digest easily. And that's just like how I picked up all these things too, where I'm just like, if I'm overwhelmed, I just take a step back, and then the next day I just try again. And like what I'm trying again is not like trying everything, but it's kind of like maybe on day one I would have no idea like what the different lights would do, like what is an area light and what is a point light. And like let me see, and there are like 4 different types of lights. So like when I feel like it's too much, I'll just like, okay, like that's enough for today. And then tomorrow I come back and then I'll just be like, oh, I kind of understand like what point light is now. Now I can go in and look at all the different stats and like start understanding like what each of these does. So like it's not on day one I go in. If like on day one I'm forced to like learn like what these are and then what all these are, I feel like it would be so overwhelming that I'll just get depressed. But yeah, I hope that you would enjoy learning Blender. And well, I think if you like my type of artwork, it might be a little bit hard to find tutorials for very detailed sculpt or my type of sculpt. But then I think like a lot of Blender tutorials out there or nomad sculpt tutorials out there would be able to explain a lot of subjects, and how like they can explain the information quite well. So I learned a lot from channels like small robot studios. Like I learned a lot from them when I was picking up nomad sculpt. I think there's a channel called Dave by Dave Reed. Like his nomad sculpt stuff, I think his tutorials are pretty good. For Blender, I haven't been looking at Blender tutorials recently, so I can't really recall what channels I watched to pick up on stuff. But yeah, like all these channels, they do quite, in the most part, they do quite simple stylized characters. Or like when I look at Blender tutorials online for character sculpts, a lot of them have like a huge focus on like rendering, kind of like sculpting. Kind of like sculpting a girl, like a portrait of a girl, or like just one single girl character, which I feel like is quite specific. Like if you want to go into character design, those would be good, but I'm not really interested in character design. So yeah, I hope that I can have like the courage to put some Blender tutorials out there in the future. But yeah. Thank you for coming in, and I hope that you have a great day. Today is Thursday. I hope that I can stream tomorrow. And yeah, it's time for dinner, so have a good night, everyone. And thank you for your kind comments. Thank you for coming in. The Cornerbed Council approves. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.